Welcome to Pokédex Trainers. I'm your host Albie, and today I'm going to be going over a Venusaur EX deck that I have been recently playing and having great success with. Now this Venusaur EX deck plays Mewtwo 3 Diamond, aka the baby Mewtwo. Now this deck only plays grass energy, so the sole purpose of the Mewtwo is to place it in your active spot and allow it to soak up damage while we build up our Venusaur, and then we bring in our Venusaur and we start cleaning house. And of course, we have things like potion and X speeds, potions in order to help us keep this Mewtwo alive for anywhere from 2, 3, or 4 turns normally. And then X speeds if we have to remove the Mewtwo, if we've already built up our Venusaur and we're ready to start knocking out Pokemon. So the deck has been performing very well. I got the idea from, originally I saw a Mewtwo list that was playing, I think, one copy of this Mewtwo, and they were using it for that purpose, where they would just kind of frontline it, allow it to soak up damage, and then if they happened to have the God of War, they were able to just load it up with counters and start hitting things for 120, which conveniently could take out Pikachus in one hit. So it was very good in that deck. But then I saw it in a Dragonite deck, and they didn't have any Psychic Energy, and all they were doing was frontlining this Mewtwo and loading up the Dragonite, and then bringing in the Dragonite and starting to sweep their team. And I started to think, well, maybe we have something here. And Venusaur has been a card that I've been trying to get to work now for quite a while. I've played things like Executor, I've played things like Venonat and Venomoth, Lilligants, Butterfreeze, and the deck always just feels underwhelming. And Venusaur is one of my personal favorite Pokemon, so I gotta figure something out here. So I'm just very excited to share this with you guys because I've had some great success with this list here. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some games here so you guys can see the deck in action. If you have any questions, comment at the bottom. Also, let me know, what is your favorite current Venusaur EX deck in the metagame? So let's jump into some games. All right, so we're going to get into a game here. Now, we don't mind going second because we do want the energy advantage. Now, the Charizard matchup is our hardest matchup. I mean, that matchup is almost unbeatable. So hopefully we're not facing that. All right, so we got our Mewtwo here. Now we just need a Bulbasaur. All right, so no Bulbasaur here. We'll just pass the turn. We're okay playing against most decks that are trying to set something up, just because we can go bigger than they can. All right, hopefully we hit a Bulbasaur here. Nope. So we'll go ahead and pass. Well, let's attach our energy. We normally don't do that. So we're gonna use some potions here. Okay, there's the Bulbasaur. We want to keep this Mewtwo alive. They could have a Sabrina, so I'm gonna Pokeball here and hopefully we can get another Bulbasaur. Or a Mewtwo would be fine. Yep, all right, perfect. That way if they Sabrina us, we can just bring in that Pokemon. go here. And let's go ahead and just Sabrina them to try to slow them down here. See if we can get an additional turn. Hopefully they don't have a red card here. Okay. So I'm just going to bring the Ivysaur here. We have the Ericas. Well, we have the Erica and we have the Venusaur. So we're not going to Sabrina. We want to take out this Kabutops. That's the only threat that they currently have. Yeah, we don't even need to play our Erica here. Yeah, I don't see a way that they can defeat this Venusaur. And even if they play a Sabrina, we put a counter on Mewtwo and X speed. So let's go ahead and go here. They could have a Doug trio here. And that card can get a little annoying because it can prolong the game. But, I mean, even doing that, I don't see a way for them out of this. And this is what I was mentioning earlier. Like, most decks don't have an answer for a Venusaur EX. Alright, so we have two, so we'll just continue to go here. Erica. Just continue to sweep their team. All right, and that is it for that game. All right, so you saw there the game plan. We just start off with our Mewtwo, allow our Mewtwo to soak up some damage while we set up the Venusaur. And then we retreat Mewtwo or allow the Mewtwo to get knocked out. Hopefully Venusaur is ready to go. And we bring it in and we just start sweeping the entire team. And then we back it up with things like Erica and Sabrina if we need to. Pro tip here. Once you have your you don't ever want to play more than 3 Pokemon on your bench. So just keep that in mind. That's why we didn't use the Pokeball that game. You either, if you have your 2 Mewtwo's and a Bulbasaur, both of those Mewtwo's serve as a way to make sure that that Bulbasaur gets to Venusaur. Now in certain situations, depending on how your hand looks, it may be beneficial to have 2 Bulbasaurs and 1 Mewtwo if you feel you can evolve 2 Venusaurs, or you can sometimes use one of your Bulbasaurs if you have also a spare Ivysaur as additional shield till you build up the one in the bench. Because the truth is this, if they're able to take out your Venusaur, you're just gonna lose. But again, like I mentioned, most decks cannot handle a Venusaur. You know, that Pokemon is just such a tank and it hits so hard. And then when you combine things like Potion, Erica, it's just very hard to knock out that Pokemon. So let's go ahead and jump into another game. I think what makes this deck a little bit more consistent than the other ones, in my opinion, is that the setup doesn't take as much resources as previous deck lists where you need, like if you're setting up an Executor, we'll put this here, you need a couple cards for that. If you're setting up the Butterfree, you need a ton of cards for that. Where this version, you just need 2 cards, 2 Mewtwo's, right? And really, most of the time, you only need 1 Mewtwo in your hand, which we can usually consistently get. And we just put that in the active spot and then kind of just ride that until we get a Venusaur. So Dragonite decks can be a problem. Let's see what we get here. Okay, not too shabby. So we're gonna go ahead and pass the turn here. Now they normally don't get too aggressive in the beginning with these decks, unless they have a Weezing. So what we're gonna do is we're going to evolve our Bulbasaur into an Ivysaur and kind of use that as our frontliner until we get this other Venusaur, hopefully. Now the issue with that is we're very vulnerable to a Sabrina if they start attacking early. Opponent thinking here. So I don't think they're playing any dark energy. I think this is just a lightning and water energy deck to make it more consistent for their Dragonite. They might not even bring the Coughing in. I think they're just going to race us. So now we really need a Venusaur. That's not too bad for us, actually. Go here. And do we Sabrina them? Yeah, let's Sabrina them. See if we can slow them down a little bit. If they don't have an X speed, that should slow them down for a turn. Hopefully we draw an X speed here. Nice. We're gonna go here. And let's get to work with this Venusaur. a part of me wants to use this Pokeball and hopefully land another Mewtwo. Okay, so they're gonna bring in the Dragonite here. Let's see what this does. Yeah, I think we should have. It's just if we get a Bulbasaur, that's really not really what we want on our bench. Okay, not too bad. All right, another Mewtwo. That's good for us. So let's heal here. Now I imagine they have to retreat here. Not sure if it's... I mean, I guess they could like knock out our Venusaur and knock out our Ivysaur or Mewtwo if the flips land that way. So maybe we should have healed the Venusaur. That would have been the better play. Okay, a Sabrina. Guess we'll give them this. Wow. The perfection, huh, guys? That was simply incredible. So yeah, I mean, the misplay there was we should have played the potion on the Venusaur. But again, I mean, we had 4 Pokemon and they needed to exactly deal 150 to the Venusaur and 50 to the Ivysaur, and they were able to do that. So let's jump into another game here. So we are going first. We have our Mewtwo and we have our Professor's Research. Another Venusaur. Let's see what this gets us here. All right. Now, I'm not sure if we're playing against the 18 Trainers deck or some type of variation with Starmies. All right, that's good for us. So next turn, depending on what happens here, we're going to Sabrina them, assuming this does not get them any counters. Just going to continue our game plan here. Not gonna potion. Let's go ahead and Sabrina in hopes of slowing them down. And I'm okay with losing this Mewtwo here because next turn we could just bring in our Venusaur and get to work. And we'll go ahead and Pass the turn here. So it looks like they know what we're up to, so they're just going to set up, you know, build up their Pokemon on the bench in hopes to have a team to go up against this Venusaur. So this is going to be fun, right? Because now we have a Venusaur that's going to have to clear out our whole team, which I do believe we can do. And this is going to really highlight the power and strength of Venusaur. A Sabrina would be, okay, they're going to have a Greninja, so that can be a little bit of a problem. Okay. So they're going to come in for 80. That's fine. We're not going to play that. We don't want to make their Sabrinas good. So we'll just gain 70 here. 40 plus the 30. I don't think they're playing red card simply because they do have the Psyducks, Golducks. Greninja requires quite a few cards. But they are playing Pokedex, so who knows? Alright, so they're committed to losing this Articuno, which, you know, understandable. So currently every Pokemon that they have we can knock out next turn. Not sure what they can have here. Okay, they have the Greninja. They can do 100. I mean, I guess they can switch the Greninja into play. But that's okay with us, I guess. So there you see the power of Venusaur. I mean, this Pokemon alone just took out their entire team. And that's what I was talking about this deck, right? Like, there's very few decks in the metagame that can handle a Venusaur. So once you have Venusaur online, most often than not, you're going to be able to just take out their entire team. All right, let's do one more match here. We'll be going first. Okay, we got two Bulbasaurs. I'm gonna play both here. Okay, another Dragonite deck. Because we may need to use one of these as a way to protect our bench. Let's see what flavor of Dragonite they're playing. Okay. So they have a similar strategy as ours. They're just going to build up their bench. Okay, so it looks like they have the Articuno 3 Diamond as the one that they front load here, which is pretty good because you can also play Misty and turn your active front loader Pokemon into an actual threat. Alright, so that X speed's gonna come in handy here. We're gonna pass the turn here. I'm not gonna Sabrina just yet. They have one card in hand. 10 cards in the deck. Alright, so it's time that we start to put in some work here. We're going to Sabrina. They're going to put in the Dragonite, the Dragonair should I say, with no counters. Oh, they also have Mewtwo, okay. Sabrina, that's fine with us. They have no cards in hand. And we draw Sabrina. So let's do this. We need to somehow get to that Dragonair with 4 counters on. They do need a... I forgot if Dragonite requires 2 water or 2 lightning. Because right now it looks like they're flooded on lightning. Okay, that's fine. X speed, perfect. So I'm not going to Sabrina them just yet. Because I think if they get a Dragonite here, we knock out the Mewtwo, they bring in Dragonite, they hit us. If they don't have nothing else, then we Sabrina them, bring in the Articuno, knock out the Articuno, and take the game. Surprisingly, they don't have any Dragonites. So let's bring in this Mewtwo to help soak up some damage in case they do have a Dragonite. We'll place it here. And then I'm actually going to Sabrina them here. Okay, Professor. Wow, no Dragonite. And they have 4 cards in their deck. Well, folks, sometimes you just get lucky. Yeah, so I should have been, honestly, I should have been more patient with that Sabrina. That was a bad use of a Sabrina there. Should have just held on to it. That's just insurance in case they do have that Dragonite, like I mentioned earlier. We were going to take out the Mewtwo. They bring in Dragonite, they hit us. We Sabrina, take out the Articuno, take the game. But it happens. But yeah, this is Venusaur EX, and we're utilizing the 3 Diamond Mewtwo as our front line here in order to build up the Venusaur. Let me know what you guys think about this deck. I have been finding great success with it. So far, it is the best Venusaur EX variant that I have played personally. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what Venusaur EX deck you guys have been playing, and also let me know what is your current favorite deck in the metagame in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and take care.